if you're new here, I'm Kanita, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch 5th episode of 2nd season of Anywhere to Your Eternity, so let's get to it, let's go. Well, let's see. Next course of action, romantic comedy. I was also like, that the church is probably going to do something too. Curious. But I was rewatching the ending in the previous episode. Well, same everywhere, I suppose. But I was thinking, like, it shows all of these people and rethinking it after the previous episode, shows all these spirits, like, they really, live as their own selves in the community, so to say, right? And then it zooms out and it feels like they are inside the orb, right? And so that kind of goes back to my theory that Fushi is going to create an echo of Earth. Then I said, okay, but how can it be possible if, as he says, it's not these people, it's just like his memory of them? Yeah, right, just echo of them. But then as Bon did see them as like separate spirits, like ghost souls, spirits, whatever, and then looking at this ending made me think again about this theory. So I just like wondering about it. Is this the end goal? The orb being like this new planet that has inside of it all of like this world, the whole immense voyage. I suppose that's Fushis. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was a chair for a while now. That's a position. His back must be really strong. Rejection! Oh, he's upset about it. Yeah. He's standing right there. Well, being a chair, it's not really from that far. he is really cute. You're so ready to say yes, yes. Very painful. I guess it depends. If it's unrequited love, then yes. If it's mutual, then no. That's a lot. Is it possible? He could give something only non-organic. Yeah. Artificial leg is possible. Just in case. He does hear him. No? Or not? It was implied, I think, that not, but he reacted so fast. I guess, okay, from his expression, alright. Well, we got the core. So, is it done? He remembers everyone by name? He kind of noticed that Thomas is not there and immediately figured where he is. He's a really caring person. No wonder his people really love him. Like, maybe he didn't do enough practical things like his brother yet, but. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is very charming. I think that's the good word. I guess in some way he is. If a creator is a god of this world. So this dark black effect usually shows that a person will die soon, but it happened with Hisame too, and she survived for a while, so. Positive way to look at it. Oh. Yeah, that was exactly her wish. That's quite precise. To grow up. I guess he could theoretically take her form, but it wouldn't be like her. Oh gosh. Well, we already had her dead body. It's not much better, right? But I forgot that he can produce empty shells. The ghost. If Bon can see the ghosts following Fushi, could this ghost technically be put in the shells? So did her spirit go back into her body? But he's so horrified about it. So it is true. Because he can't use the echo anymore? Yeah, so they are talking. They were talking. Hmm. Please come back again. Okay, for thanks. I see. That's what he was thinking about? Offended. Well, we do know that his initial idea was to use Fushi somehow to become king. But it seems there's more connection was forged. Yeah, I think there's low chance he will try to call the Seka again. I'm not sure if that's possible. He doesn't have their shells. Hmm. Yes, the threat felt real. Yeah. Is he following them? That's unlike him. That's more likely would be Bon following them. Reminds of Anna? Ah, that's the sister. Well, runs in the family. Yeah, but you definitely fell for appearance. No. Iris. But the name is feminine. So it's the other way around. So it must be the same girl after all. That was quick. Despicable. Yeah, it's possible he would say, like, I can't see you as my chair anymore. He wants only a guy to be his chair, right? You know? Pretty reasonable expectation she had that he will fire her. The doll? Well, it's a doll, it looks like a human being. Cute. Oh. Porque Haku is so happy. Oh. It's not even a love triangle now, it's now love rectangle. Oh, but her spirit really is playing though. Interesting. Confession. That is quite a jump. I would think like at least like I like you or I would like you to go out with me. It's just okay, maybe these are the times they're living in. You just right away. They're like, okay, let's get married. Maybe that's how it works in their world. Okay, just like what the heck? It's a bit imagine, you're just not even this creature that is just trying to grasp the concept of love. You're just a person, just a girl. And there is this guy, you've talked to him a few times. I mean, he seems nice, but you don't really know him. And then he kind of comes out and says, be my wife. You're like, what the fuck? What is going on? I mean, and I think there are implications that Bon also thinks that Fushi is quite nice. Maybe not as, he doesn't think it as strongly as Kahaku, but he does a little. But then, maybe not necessarily though. I feel like there is some like interest or attachment, but maybe not necessarily romantic. And I think when he said you're a lucky one, I thought at first he's talking to a doll, and I'm like, oh, love rectangle. But then I thought, wait, like there's March playing with this doll, so he was talking to March, like March is lucky that her spirit is here safe within the orb, let's say so, and she got the doll to play with, so we could say it's kind of March's spirit in Fushi was like, oh, I like this doll, I want this doll. And Fushi just took these feelings and was like, oh, I need to get this doll. And now March gets to play with it. I guess that's maybe how it was. And then on Fushi's feeling, I feel like, yeah, maybe it's possible that feelings can develop, but it didn't happen yet. But I felt again like there were more implications that feelings would be developing for Bon, not for Kahaku. I'm sorry, Kahaku, to break the news to you, but it seems like the feelings are more likely to appear for Bon from the hints I saw so far, from like little moments. And then on topic of Toda, who is actually named Iris. Yeah, so I thought, okay, maybe that was actually like always a boy, was just dressed as a girl for a reason. Like, why not? I mean, in Middle Ages, I think they did use just the same like gown for, at least that's what I heard. I never lived in Middle Ages. For a boy and a girl, while they're small, you just have this like gown, like a nightgown. I'm not sure how to call it. You just put it on them, and they just run around in this. Doesn't really matter. It's just something that doesn't constrict their movements too much. And so, okay, maybe as a small boy, or maybe for other reasons, he was just in a dress. I mean, why not? Theoretically possible, but I guess, yeah, this makes more sense. So that was always a girl, but just like now seems to look like a boy, maybe because she's so plumpy. You can't really see like the feminine figure. I guess the eyes seem smaller because she's plumpy. I guess, okay, that's an explanation we can kind of find, I don't know. So that's pretty funny because Bon did think that that girl is really nice. And yeah, by the way, this is now definitely we can say not a ghost, but Toda or Iris. And they had their like meet cute, but then he didn't even recognize her even as a girl. not as that girl, but not as a girl in particular, in general. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what is this? This is, no, not even romantic triangle, not a romantic rectangle. We have a very complicated figure here. It's like, I'm not sure how is it called in English, a figure of 5 angles. Yeah, I don't really know, but in any case, yeah, we have a very complicated figure here. And I kind of going into the second season of To Your Eternity, romantic comedy, not quite what I expected, but I guess I can see this angle, right? We had like growth of Fushi in the first season, and I guess this finding of romance, attraction, etc. It can be part of a human's growth. So we're kind of entering that adolescence now, I think. And we're also learning a lot more about Fushi's powers. So yeah, the people can basically be revived. You see, this girl, she died with no external injuries. So when we recreate the shell, it looks pretty nice. And the spirit just went back in, and I guess if the thing is recreated, it's recreated like exactly as it was, but somehow now the illness is just gone. I'm like, would it work, for example, if a body was pierced fatally by an arrow, right? And you replicate this body. You replicate it pierced by an arrow. That's how we saw it. But then we got Parona's body. And I think wasn't she like beheaded or something like that? It was something horrible. But when we see her echo, she's completely fine, with no external injuries. So I guess, yeah, it is theoretically possible. Fushi could make a shell of anyone, no matter how they died. Also, the shell could also like appear without external injuries. Yeah, I think now that he copies March, also she looks pretty fine. Yeah, I think that it does work this way. It's because I'm remembering back then it was always with the blood, with the this injury, but then it kind of went away. So he managed to start replicating them in a healthy form, and I guess that's how it can work. He can make the shell and the spirit just goes back, because as we figured, the spirits just follow them, they are in the orb. But I mean, Bon thought like, oh, you won't be with me because you'll just go somewhere with your friends. You won't need me anymore. That's the line of thought he had, and also it felt like the creator was like, don't tell him that, he isn't supposed to know that. And Bon was like, okay. But also I was thinking, what is probably creator is thinking, right? That if they are revived, obviously Fushi wouldn't be able to use them anymore against the knockers. I guess theoretically they could all go with him as a huge party and fight together against knockers, instead of him taking like one identity at a time. So I guess it could be beneficial, his own big army. So now I'm like confused. I thought, okay, maybe then we create this new world and we create these shells and we put the spirits back into them, and that's how the world can be recreated. And I guess if we do it right now, it kind of defeats the purpose. It's like too early. Yeah, there's still a lot of questions to be answered, I suppose, but that would be it for this episode, I think. So please share your thoughts in the comments down below without spoilers, of course. Thank you for watching and see ya.